We must fix an economy in America that is rigged and that sends almost all of the new wealth and income to the top 1%. We must raise the minimum wage to a living wage. This campaign is about moving the United States toward universal health care, tripling funding for the National Health Service Corps.
All right, our next guest was a Bernie Sanders supporter. Carolyn Hellman is with us. Carolyn, welcome back to the program. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Stu.
Okay, now, you won. I think you flat out won. I think Bernie Sanders has dragged the Democrats all the way to becoming a socialist party. Are you happy?
Well, I would disagree with you. I don't think we've won it all. I mean, we made some slight gains, right? Hillary Clinton started talking about Wall Street reform, started talking about more affordable education, single payer for health care. But other than that, there hasn't been a radical shift to the left.
Really?
Hillary Clinton is a moderate Democrat.
Whoa, wait a second. There has not been a shift to the left. Free college, universal health care, a huge increase in the minimum wage, and more crackdown on Wall Street, tax the rich till the pips squeak. I don't think that's a minor shift to the left. I think there's a huge road right to the socialist left. Come on, where you been?
You know, Bernie Sanders isn't even a socialist. He's just a New Deal Democrat. So the idea that somehow Hillary Clinton has become a socialist, I think, is laughable. The party platform that you're referring to, or the pieces of the party platform, many of those pieces have been in place for decades. So this is nothing new. The question is, what will Hillary Clinton prioritize? She's certainly not a Democratic socialist. She's way to the right than Bernie supporters like myself. And it would be really nice if we had one. But at the end of the day, we haven't.
Okay, this is a financial program, and we deal heavily in economics. And I just want you to tell us in very clear terms how you get growth in the American economy if you have a vast increase in the taxation of our country. How do you get growth? Spell it out for me.
Well, certainly. If you look at the track record from 1945 on, you can see that the Democrats actually have an excellent track record. Republicans have, like Ronald Reagan, right, have tripled the deficit. They have been the primary driver behind the growth in debt and deficit. And so if you look at paying for these particular plans, you restore the income tax rate on the wealthiest Americans.
I asked you about growth, okay? Now, you tell me,
that's
how do we get
to the debt and deficit?
growth?
You're telling me that growth isn't connected to the deficit?
The economy is down to 1% growth at this moment. You propose to come into power and impose a massive increase in taxation. Tell me how a huge increase in taxation results in economic growth. Tell me.
Well, it results because you actually tax the people who can afford to pay for it so that other people can get things like education and training that produce growth. So you restore the income tax rates.
Where has this ever worked?
Death tax rates.
Can you show me an economy which does what you have said it should do, and where you get real growth?
Clinton. The 90s and Bill Clinton. If you look actually at Obama's economy, he has also not only pulled us out of a catastrophic liquidity crisis, we also have remarkable growth given what he inherited.
He didn't pull us out of a remarkable liquidity crisis. All right, I can see we're failing on this one. Let me ask you about morality.
Oh, he certainly did.
No, he didn't. It was the Federal Reserve which pulled us out of the liquidity crisis, not President Obama. Let's get the facts straight.
Who do you think
now, listen to this.
Morality. Who do you think runs the national government?
I always want to go back to the question of morality. At this very moment in time, if you live in certain parts of the country and you make decent money, and by that I mean the eastern seaboard and California, you make decent money, you're already paying over half of your income in taxes, either to city, state or federal governments. Over half. I say that's immoral. I say it's flat out immoral for anybody to do that to you. And you obviously think it's just fine.
My response is twofold. First off, I think that income inequality is immoral. I think the fact that most of the wealth in our country is inherited, that we don't have a meritorious system that works for everyone, I think that is immoral. I think that people who work 40 hours a week and can't pay their bills, that's immoral. So if you want to talk about morality, let's talk about the distribution of wealth in our country that is not meritorious. It benefits the top 1%.
And I've asked this so many times of you, but you will never address it. I think it is flat out immoral for a government to take more than half of someone's income. And that's what they're doing now.
That's not what's happening. You're misrepresenting the case. You are misrepresenting the case, Stu.
No, I'm not.
You are misrepresenting the case. Wealthiest Americans are laughing at what you're saying right now because we all know how tax havens work. We don't pay 50% of our wealth in taxes. Give me a break.
No,
tax
we don't
loopholes,
pay. You see,
all sorts of investment breaks. I mean, come on.
Are you a professor of economics? Well, you've just confused
Political
two things.
Science, actually. I have a business degree. I worked in the private sector. Do you want to know my resume?
We do not tax wealth in this country. We tax income. I don't think you know what you're doing to the strivers of this world. It's the strivers who make income.
Is that your best response? When I call you on the fact, that the wealthiest Americans do not pay 50% of their wealth, your best response is to quibble about the terms that I use?
Of course
Why don't
I
you
am.
address that issue?
Why
don't you address the issue? Why don't you admit that the wealthiest Americans do not pay 50%?
This is a waste of time.
Why don't you admit that the wealthiest Americans do not pay 50% of their wealth in taxes?
Do you want to take wealth? Do you want, if I'm a wealthy guy, supposing I've got $1 billion, okay? And it's in the stock market, it's in the real estate market. Do you want to come and take half of it? Just seize it? Is that what you want to do?
Basically, if you're making money off of money, I would like that to go and be redistributed to other Americans.
And it is
No, it's immoral to
Yes,
make money off of money that you don't do anything for simply because you were born into wealth. That's what's immoral.
Man,
what's
are a
immoral
socialist.
is our system of economy that doesn't actually help most Americans. That's immoral.
Nonsense. But Carolyn, we completely disagree. And
Yes,
I hope you never
We agree
get into
on that.
power.
We
I hope
agree
you
on that.
never, ever get a finger on the lever of power. That's all I hope.
I have no interest in your power or your wealth. No interest in that whatsoever. I know it's difficult to believe, but there are a lot of Americans who are not interested in amassing wealth just to amass wealth.
You want to take it. You want to take it.
I want people
and you're from a wealthy
to be able
family.
to work and live.
Have you asked your mom and dad about this? Seizing your parents' wealth? Have you asked them about this? Are they in favor of it? You admitted on this program a couple of months ago you come from a very wealthy family. Have you asked your mom and dad about seizing half of their wealth? Have you?
Well, my father passed away, so I can't ask him that.
I'm very sorry.
But
I did not know
my
that.
family,
I'm
no,
very sorry
that's
about
fine.
that. I apologize.
No, Stu, my family wealth. My family does redistribute their wealth, as do I. I give a lot of it away because I am not interested in a world in which people who are working full-time cannot pay for basic necessities. I want a different world. And I believe that we can get to a better system of taxation.
We have to pay bills on this program, so we've got a commercial coming up. Thanks so much, Carolyn. You will be back. Thanks so much indeed.